Hi everyone, my name is Felipa, and this is day 39 of my year-long reading plan of completing this big Bible. Well, the Bible, period. It just happens that this one's really big. So I'm in Deuteronomy. I'm on chapter 12, monuments of adultery are to be destroyed. Basically, once again, God's saying, do not bless any other gods or any other creations. There's only one God, it's me. Just don't do it. The end. But there's lots of pages, and it basically repeats that over and over. Also says about dealing with false prophets. So it says if there's a prophet or a dreamer of dreams and he tells you that there's signs and for you to wonder about something, just don't believe it, because there is only one God. It's me. You'll know in your heart who I am. You basically don't need to be told by somebody else that there is another God, because there isn't. You know in your heart there's one, and it's me. Also, very heavily, if your family member decides to worship another god or is secretly telling you and whispering in your ear to come and serve some other god, you need to kill them and stone them to death. So that's a little severe, but I can kind of see if throughout the history of time, like if people were essentially even scared to question things, even if they were curious about something, because if you had a family member who was a little bit cray-cray, and they pretty much wanted to kill you just because you asked a simple question because you're curious, I could see why people would have fear, a lot of fear, and wouldn't ask questions. And then it just says here, God's children are not to disfigure themselves in the morning. So there's a bunch of direction over, once again, a review of what animals to eat, what animals not to eat, to give God 1/10 of everything. Chapter 15, canceling debts every 7 years. So if you have a neighbor that's in a debt to you, that you shall release it. And I really like this part too. God basically says, you should release these debts, including slavery, because everything that you have, I've given to you. So you can't hold it over the heads of other people, because technically it's not yours. I gave it to you, then by extension, you need to give it to people. Give them forgiveness. Make sure that your slave doesn't go out empty. And it even says here in this verse 14, thou shalt furnish him liberally out of thy flock and out of thy floor and out of thy winepress. Of that wherewith the Lord thy God hath blessed thee, thou shalt give unto him. So I gave you all this stuff, so it's not up to you to now decide that you're not going to, bless and help other people out, because technically all those things aren't even yours in the first place. They're mine. There's a summary of the 3 major festivals, and basically God saying, you need to remember when I brought you out of Egypt and be grateful for that. And so, of course, I just wrote down these observances and festivals are all set up as reminders for people to continually not forget what God has done for them, because we know how bad memory is. And so tomorrow is day 40, and I start on continuing chapter 16, verse 18, laws about administering justice. So I'm about 20 pages away from finishing this book and moving on to Joshua, and I will see you tomorrow.